Welcome back to my channel with new update. Michael Bisping and Paul Felder have strongly criticized the UFC's increasing reliance on interim championships, arguing that the practice is slowly eroding the meaning of true dominance in the sport. Felder, in particular, has expressed frustration that the aura surrounding reigning champions has diminished over the past few years, as interim belts are introduced more frequently whenever a title holder is sidelined. This discussion comes at a time when several UFC divisions are effectively stalled. Ilia Topuria is confirmed to be out of action for several more months, a situation that has already prompted the promotion to move forward with an interim lightweight title. At heavyweight, Tom Aspinall is also unavailable after suffering a serious eye poke, an injury that requires caution and extended recovery time. With Aspinall unable to rush back, speculation has grown that the UFC may introduce yet another interim belt, potentially at heavyweight, with Alex Pereira and Cyril Gane rumored as a possible matchup, though nothing has been made official. Felder's main concern is that the UFC has become too quick to create interim titles whenever champions are temporarily unavailable, even for relatively short absences. From his perspective, this approach strips champions like Topuria and Aspinall of the mystique and authority that come with being the undisputed best in their division. When belts are constantly labeled as interim and frequently vacated, the stakes feel lower, and even major fights lose some of their impact. He pointed out that injuries like Aspinall's eye issue are serious and cannot be rushed. Fighters in those situations often cannot even train properly, as any impact or movement could worsen the injury. While Felder understands the logistical challenges the UFC faces, he believes that repeatedly turning to interim championships ultimately hurts the sport's long-term narrative. Felder also reflected nostalgically on an earlier era of MMA, when dominant champions ruled their divisions for extended periods. He cited fighters like Anderson Silva as examples of champions who carried an undeniable presence, athletes who entered every fight with the perception that they were nearly unbeatable. According to Felder, that feeling is something fans desperately miss. He believes Ilia Topuria has the potential to become that kind of dominant figure, someone who consistently proves he cannot be beaten. Similarly, Aspinall had already begun to establish that reputation at heavyweight before his unfortunate injury. Felder added that if Aspinall were to return and decisively defeat someone like Cyril Gane, it could restore that sense of clear dominance in the division. However, he emphasized that the continued overuse of interim belts undermines that possibility, making championship reigns feel fragmented rather than legendary. Islam Makhachev has revealed that he was recently offered a fight for January but ultimately decided to turn it down, while also issuing a clear warning toward Ilia Topuria amid rising tensions between the two camps. In a detailed interview with a Russian television channel, Makhachev discussed several major topics, ranging from his future plans to his thoughts on other top contenders across multiple divisions. Makhachev confirmed that the UFC approached him about returning in January for a bout against undefeated prospect Michael Morales. While he acknowledged Morales as a strong and deserving opponent, Makhachev explained that the timing simply did not work. He had just completed an intense 3-month training camp and felt that immediately jumping back into another camp would not allow him to prepare properly. As a result, he informed the UFC that he plans to return after Ramadan, likely sometime between April and June. During the interview, Makhachev also spoke about recent conversations with Petr Yan. He revealed that the two spoke in Dubai prior to Merab Dvalishvili's rematch and praised Yan for addressing weaknesses from previous fights. According to Makhachev, Yan has been training extensively with wrestlers in Dagestan to improve his defensive grappling. He believes that if Yan and Dvalishvili were to meet for a third time, Yan would be far better prepared and capable of neutralizing Merab's relentless wrestling. Turning his attention to the bantamweight division, Makhachev shared his thoughts on Umar Nurmagomedov's future. He stated that a rematch between Umar and Dvalishvili would be more compelling than a potential fight with Petr Yan. Makhachev feels Umar needs to avenge his previous loss and is confident that he has the tools and skill set to outmaneuver the former champion if given another opportunity. When discussing possible opponents for himself, Makhachev admitted that Kamaru Usman presents the most uncomfortable matchup stylistically. However, he made it clear that he has no issue fighting Shavkat Rakhmonov if the UFC puts that fight together, while also pointing out that Shavkat has not competed in over a year and should secure another win before earning a title shot. The interview concluded with Makhachev addressing growing animosity from Ilia Topuria. He expressed confusion over Topuria's apparent hostility, stating that no one from his team has shown any disrespect. Makhachev referenced an incident involving Topuria and Tagir Ulanov, which he felt was unnecessary. He downplayed concerns about Topuria's grappling and emphasized that he has seen him controlled on the ground before. Makhachev ended by saying that when they eventually meet, he wants to talk face-to-face, understand the issue, and settle their differences directly. Dana White did not hold back when addressing Islam Makhachev's decision to publicly reveal details about a potential fight against Michael Morales. The UFC president made it clear that he was unhappy with Makhachev discussing internal negotiations before the promotion was ready to make any official announcement. His comments added another layer of tension to an already buzzing welterweight title picture. For weeks, fans and analysts had been speculating about who Makhachev's first title defense at welterweight might be. Two names dominated the conversation: the undefeated and fast-rising Michael Morales and former champion Kamaru Usman, whose legacy and experience continue to make him a compelling challenger. The uncertainty kept the division active in discussion, with no clear indication from the UFC about which direction they planned to go. That speculation intensified when Makhachev confirmed in a Russian interview that the UFC had offered him a January fight against Morales. While the revelation was welcomed by fans eager for clarity, it reportedly frustrated Dana White. White has long been vocal about his dislike for fighters leaking behind-the-scenes information, believing that such disclosures interfere with the promotion's ability to control narratives, timing, and major announcements. During a recent Instagram Live session, White addressed the situation directly. Although he did not officially confirm or deny the fight offer itself, his irritation was obvious. He emphasized that fighters speaking too freely about negotiations undermines the UFC's promotional strategy and spoils potential surprises. From White's perspective, these announcements are part of the business, and releasing information prematurely disrupts how the organization builds anticipation and excitement. White's reaction reflects a recurring tension between fighters and the promotion, especially as athletes become more comfortable sharing information directly with fans through interviews and social media. While fans often appreciate transparency, the UFC leadership views controlled messaging as essential to maintaining its brand and marketing power. Naturally, the public criticism has only fueled further speculation about Makhachev's future. Questions now linger about whether Morales is truly next in line, or if the UFC might pivot toward a more established name like Usman. Morales, undefeated and surging with momentum, represents a high-risk, high-reward matchup, while Usman offers star power and proven championship experience. As the welterweight division waits for clarity, Dana White's frustration has become part of the story itself. His comments have intensified interest in Makhachev's next move and highlighted the delicate balance between fighter openness and promotional control. Whether Makhachev faces Morales, Usman, or another contender entirely, the buildup is already charged with controversy, ensuring that his eventual title defense will arrive with no shortage of attention. Dana White once again voiced his frustration with fighters who, in his view, cannot keep information private and feel the need to speak publicly in order to appear informed or relevant. He suggested that this constant talking is what leads to unnecessary controversy, as too many details are shared before the UFC is ready to make official announcements. According to White, this behavior has become far too common, and it creates avoidable distractions around major storylines. At the same time, an unexpected development emerged involving Michael Bisping, which caught many fans off guard. For weeks, Bisping had been one of Tom Aspinall's strongest supporters throughout the eye poke controversy. His defense of Aspinall was rooted both in shared nationality and in personal experience, as Bisping knows firsthand the seriousness of eye injuries after dealing with vision problems for much of his own career. However, Bisping has now shifted his stance and offered pointed criticism of how Aspinall is managing the situation. Bisping believes Aspinall is approaching the controversy the wrong way by overexposing the issue on social media. Aspinall has been regularly posting videos from doctor appointments, medical scans, and detailed updates about his condition, clearly attempting to prove that the eye poke was legitimate and that he did not quit. While the intention may be to silence doubters, Bisping argues that this approach is having the opposite effect. In Bisping's view, the constant updates are giving the controversy more life than it deserves. Rather than projecting the calm authority of a champion, Aspinall appears to be trying too hard to convince the audience. The more he explains, the more attention the criticism receives. Coming from a former champion who competed for years with severe eye damage, Bisping's words carry significant weight and credibility. Both Bisping and Paul Felder agree that this is not what fans want to see from a heavyweight champion. They believe a title holder should not dwell on controversy or seek sympathy. Instead, fans want honesty, resolve, and confidence. They want to hear a champion acknowledge the frustration, commit to recovery, and focus on returning stronger. They also acknowledged how difficult it is to ignore accusations, especially when being labeled a quitter as a reigning champion. Still, their advice is clear. Aspinall should move on, get healthy, and let his performance speak for itself. They even suggested that if necessary, he should embrace a more aggressive, villainous persona. If Aspinall returns, dominates a top contender like Cyril Gane, and confidently addresses critics afterward, the narrative will instantly shift, and fans will fully embrace that version of him. Arman Tsarukyan has once again drawn attention with an unconventional training approach as he continues preparations for a busy stretch of upcoming competition. The lightweight contender is currently getting ready for 2 separate bouts in different rule sets, highlighting both his versatility and his commitment to constant improvement. Tsarukyan is scheduled to compete in a grappling match against Shera Bullet at Hype FC on December 30th, followed by a wrestling matchup against Lance Palmer at Raya 5 on January 10th. As part of his preparation, Tsarukyan shared footage that quickly caught the attention of fans and fellow fighters alike. In the video, he can be seen drilling wrestling techniques on top of ice, an extreme and visually striking training environment that underlines his dedication to pushing physical and mental limits. Training on such an unstable surface demands exceptional balance, control, and awareness, all of which are critical elements in high-level wrestling and grappling. The footage sparked widespread discussion within the MMA community, with many praising Tsarukyan's creativity and work ethic. Wrestling on ice is not only a test of technical precision, but also a way to sharpen core strength and adaptability. Every movement must be controlled, as even the slightest mistake can result in a loss of footing. This kind of training forces an athlete to stay calm under pressure and make constant micro-adjustments, skills that directly translate to competition. Tsarukyan has built a reputation as one of the most well-rounded and disciplined fighters in the lightweight division, and moments like this reinforce that image. His willingness to experiment with unconventional methods reflects a mindset focused on growth rather than comfort. By placing himself in challenging environments, he continues to develop attributes that separate elite competitors from the rest. With 2 demanding matchups on the horizon, Tsarukyan appears fully locked in and motivated. The ice wrestling footage serves as a reminder that his preparation goes beyond standard routines. It showcases a fighter willing to embrace discomfort and innovation in pursuit of excellence, setting the tone for what fans can expect when he steps into competition in the weeks ahead.